Hello again, thanks for watching my video. So welcome to part 2. Let's get started. So as you can see, we will start with family reunification. You can have like 3 basic situations you might be into right now. This is like work, or maybe you're already here for a long time. Maybe you have already like Niederlassung, residency, whatever. And your parents are already old and maybe not eligible for a work visa here. So what you can do is you can check for a hardship regulation. I will come back later to this point. Another thing might be a declaration of commitment. This is like a formal obligation, or let's say an enforceable guarantee. So you're basically vouching. So let's start with point 1. Work. So you can either have the blue card or you can have like the non-academic professional visa, or there's also an exception for people being self-employed. The requirements are pretty much the same. Blue card is for academic people, so you need to have like a degree, obviously. If you're coming here on a non-academic professional visa, you need to have some work qualification. So maybe from a construction site, or maybe as a craftsman, or a sports professional, something like this. So self-employment is something else, but in general, what you need is um, a work contract or a report for a salary you're making as self-employed, for example. The numbers are pretty much the same. It's around 45,000, depending on the area of work, but gross salary is 45 in general, plus maybe 2,000. If you're in IT, it's a little lower. For IT, you have 2 options, like for academics, which is a bit higher, is like I think 45, and for non-academics, because this is something which is very rare here, and basically every company is looking for IT professionals, so they lowered it to like around 41 for non-academics. Don't ask me why. Usually it should be the opposite way, but it is what it is. So you need to provide a lot of information, obviously, like a passport, birth certificate. What you don't need, that's pretty interesting, you don't need a language certificate. So when you come over here, you don't need to speak German. This is something people usually believe in, but it's not. If you're applying here for a Niederlassung, a residency, then you need a German certificate. But I'll come back to this later when I talk about Blue Card in particular. So let's go to the next point. What if you want to bring your parents to Germany, but they're already retired, they're maybe a bit old, and they can't work here anymore? Is there an option to get them into the country? Yes, it is. But it's a little hard. So what you need to do is you need to file an application for a hardship regulation. This means your parents need to be in the need of care, and you need a proper justification, and they will check it. This is the most important point. If you want to bring over, for example, children, minors, it's not a problem. If they're minors, it's basically already done. If they're over 18, forget it. Doesn't work with a hardship regulation, then it's either point 1 or maybe point 3. Or maybe a student visa might be an option too, but that's another story. So let's go to the declaration of commitment, like a formal obligation, enforceable guarantee, call it as you want. The regulation is 66 and 68 in the Aufenthaltsgesetz. So, what is the requirement? You need to be a taxpayer. Living in Germany, obviously, you have to be a taxpayer. This is like the most favorable person for the country. So, you need to vouch for the person you're inviting here, and you need to vouch for 5 years. Not less, not longer, 5. So, what do you need to guarantee for? For accommodation, obviously, so it's either your place or another place, doesn't matter, just something to live. Then you need to guarantee for the social fees and all the costs, healthcare, flight, inbound and outbound, and everything which might occur. So this can be very expensive, but if you're able to vouch, it's a pretty easy way to bring somebody over here, and you get a visa, residency for the time you vouch, and you can take maybe some education and look for a job. So pretty cool. You need to have a guaranteed minimum amount of money donating to the person. So this is right now 1,265 euro per month net, not gross, net, so cash. Or maybe savings 15,180 per year. So that's a lot, obviously. There are also some limits for the money you have to earn. This is something I'll provide in detail, like in a report with more information, but this is too much for now. And this is also changing very often. So I will put a link into this video for the report I've written with some detailed information. You can also see what documents you might need in particular. But for now, this is too much. Yeah, and obviously I will give you some information about the application process as well and how long it'll take. This is like an important point because right now, like the Office for like Foreign Affairs, where you have to go to, or maybe the embassy, they are very slow. But what the people don't know is there are a lot of verdicts where judges say you have to get it done in 3 months, otherwise the person can sue you. And this is really going to happen. And surprise, sometimes they work a little faster if you threaten them. So, blue card. So what are some basic points for the blue card? So if you get a job here, the minimum duration is 6 months, as you can see. The minimum salary is around 48. If it's a bottleneck profession, it's 43. IT is 41 sometimes. As I said, for non-academics it's 41, for academics it's higher. Don't ask me why. Yeah, what you can achieve after 21 months is like a permanent residency. It's called Niederlassung. But now it comes. You need to have B1, which is kind of hard. It's possible, but not that easy. If you're not reaching B1, it's okay, but then it'll take you 33 months and you need at least A1. But still, you get a permanent residency, which is not that bad. And if you have a permanent residency, it's pretty easier for family reunification.